Alright, hey guys, it's Emmy Wonderland, and oh my gosh, one second, Let me be right back. Alright, good morning. Or at least for me. I don't know about everyone else, but is it the afternoon? It's the afternoon. Well, almost, sort of. So, let's talk a little. Oh, that smells really good. Right there, caramel. I'm sorry, people. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about me. Come on, wait, thank you. Me! Let's talk a little bit about me and share some of my life. Some things that have happened in my life. Some major things, some major stories. Oh my good golly. Y'all, that's a big flame. Calm down. Calm down. Thank you. Calm down. Come on. Calm down. I don't want you destroying my makeup. Okay. So I figured today we could do a bit of a video. And so it's kind of like a get to know me and whatnot. So like a, how do I say this? Like a get to know me, like I share with you guys like some past experiences and whatnot. Like things that have happened in my past. And I'm not gonna say anything like too much. So nothing like bad or anything. So yeah, let's just get on to the video. Alright, so this first story, let's take it way back, like I was 1 year old. So let's take this story way back. So when I was 1, we were living in Dayton, Nevada, and so we were living there, and well, I was 1 year old, and oh dang, that's a lot. And so I was an extremely small child. I'm still small, but I was a very small child and a very small baby and whatnot. And so it was easy for me to look through windows because what I would do is I would, I was like a spider, or like I would literally just, okay, here's what I would do. I would hold on to the, what's the word, I need to wash this thing, there's no way I'm using that. So I used to hang on to the windowsill, and what I used to do is I would, just kind of hang there, and then what I would do is I would, like just swing my legs up onto the windowsill and, look through the window. That's what I used to do. And so, that's what I used to do when I was 1 because I was so light and whatnot. So this ended up being one of, that ended up causing me to have a very big accident, and, a huge consequence came with it. So you guys will have to watch the video to, hear that. So what happens is my brother, Andy, you should subscribe to his channel, he decides that he wants to look through the window, and so do I. So my mom is in her bedroom, and we are in her bedroom, so she's like watching us and whatever, because we're literally like toddlers. We are toddlers. Who is gonna leave their toddlers just running around? Like, seriously, no. So keep in mind, toddler age. So I end up, oh dang, that's cakey. We'll work it. We'll work with it. We'll try. So I basically am like I get myself up onto the windowsill. Andy, however, it was not like me, and he was not as light as me, so he could not just swing his legs and be good. So he took a chair and he pushed it up against the windowsill. And yeah, so the window was open because those apartments, so we were living in the second story of an apartment. So the apartments didn't really have air conditioning, so the window was open, but there was a screen. So basically, what happened is we were looking, and I was like happy and giggly and whatnot, you know, like a 1-year-old would be. And I was pressing against the screen of the window. Well, the window screen pops out. And guess who falls down with it? Me! So I fell out of a 2-story window at a 1-year-old. So like a toddler, like a brand new toddler. And I had already fallen out of a window. How wonderful. And so that happens, and Andy runs over to my mom immediately and goes, Abby fell out of the window, Abby fell out of the window, Abby fell! And so obviously a caring and concerned mother would immediately run over to the window, which she did. So she looks, and there's me landing in the bushes. So I landed in the bushes. Had there not been bushes there, there was rocks. So had there not been bushes there, I would have fallen on the rocks and probably died and wouldn't be here. So I ended up going to the hospital and the chiropractor and whatnot, just to see like if anything was wrong. And so they thought that my mom wasn't watching us, because when they asked her what she was doing when that happened, she said, I don't know. She said that she couldn't remember, which to some people that might seem a little suspicious, but she didn't remember because obviously her toddler just fell out of a freaking window. So like, don't you think that a mom would be, you know, a bit worried about her child instead of worrying about what she was doing? So, the hospital, being the hospital, they decide that they're going to take these matters into their own hands. And, well, they call CPS on my mom. Now, if you don't know what CPS is, it's Child Protective Services. Child Protective Services, basically, they will take your kids away and check your whole house and investigate you, the parents, and see if you're able to keep your kids or not. Well, so they took my brother and I away from our mom. Luckily, they just decided to put us with our grandmother, which is very nice of them, but still, what kind of child would want to be taken away from their mother? I'd be very surprised if you said you. So, unless, like, your parents are mean or whatever, but, like, I'd advise not calling the police, though. Okay, so anyways, I'm so sorry if that happened to you. I'm very sorry. This is a very, very sad subject to be on. So, anyways, so they took my brother and I away, and we just went to her parents. We just went to our grandparents'. So, and we lived 15, 20 minutes away from her parents, so it wasn't that bad. But she still wasn't allowed to see us for 2 days. 2 days. Okay. So then after some serious spectating and whatnot, CPS finally decides, okay, fine, she can have her kids back. So she gets us back, and dang it, that's not the color I wanted. Oh, okay, whatever. So she gets us back, and well, the day that she got us taken away from her was, she went home, and she suddenly remembered, oh yeah, I was looking at restaurants online so that we could go out to eat tonight. Well, that didn't happen. So she just like, you know, she was a sad parent. And obviously my dad too was like, dang, we got our kids taken away, dang. And like, but obviously they were sad. I'd be very mad at them if they weren't sad that they didn't have their kids there. So they just went on for a few days, and then they got us back. So it ends up happy. So that's one story. And then we have another story. And this story is like really like just seriously scary and whatnot. Well, not scary, but like this one was really, really severe and whatnot, like really bad. Let's see, how old was I? I was 10, okay. So I was 10, and this is really scary to a 10-year-old. So me and my whole life, I have never broken a single bone in my life. And I'm seriously saying that is totally truthful. Never broken a bone. Never. Well, when I was 10 years old, I was living with my grandmother because we were trying to find a house. That's what we were trying to do. Our family was trying to find a house. And, so we were living with my grandmother. And so, while that was happening, my grandmother, she had these bikes for Andy and me. And so, she would allow us to, like, ride around the block. But, like, we were, like, 10 and 11 years old, and we didn't have phones. So, we were just... That's why we were only allowed to go around the block, because we didn't have phones and whatever. So, like, they couldn't call us or anything and say, okay, come back home. No. They just had to trust that we were okay. And so what happens is we are going around the block, and me and my smart mind decide, what would happen if we go down this steep hill and decide to pedal faster? So I did. So my grandmother's block has a steep hill in it, and don't go fast in it, because it will, like, scare the living daylights out of you, because you will not be able to stop for a while. So I was doing that, and while that was happening, I realized I was going way too fast, and then I tried to stop. I tried to slow down and stop. I couldn't. I physically could not slow down or stop. At that point, I was going, I don't even know how fast, down that hill. And I had a couple of options. I could either stop and I could either keep going and injure my, okay, so I could either keep going and probably fall off the sidewalk and onto the road, which was already happening. I had already, like, almost lost control and fallen to the side of the road before. Like, that had already happened almost. So I was, at that point, we're thinking, okay, I can do that. Or I can try not to do anything and hit Andy and injure Andy. Or I can try to stop myself with my feet. Because my brakes were not working. They just weren't working. So it's one of those, like, you have to, like, hold the back. Like, you have to hold the pedals backwards to get it to stop and brake. So it was one of those. And, well, the pedals weren't stopping and braking. They were just going down this hill. So I had to make some very fast decisions, and I finally decided I'm going to hurt myself instead of hurt Andy. So I did, and I tried to stop it with my feet. So basically, I took my foot, and y'all are going to see a foot here. So yeah. And it was going like this against the road. So it was So, like, this is my foot, and it was going like this against the road. Or against the sidewalk. Because I was trying to stop myself. So I'd rather hurt myself than hurt Andy. So I did hurt myself really bad. That was a really, really bad accident. And I ended up stopping, finally, just a few feet after almost hitting Andy. I literally stopped just a few feet behind Andy. Like, if I hadn't stopped when I stopped, I would have hit Andy. So I basically just like saved my life and Andy's life, sort of, in a way, like, if you believe in that kind of stuff, which I do. So I was doing that, and I stopped myself eventually. It stopped. I was happy that it stopped because I honestly never wanted that to happen again in my life. So the pressure on my foot and whatever had hurt my ankle. And so, lucky for me, my grandmother was a retired nurse. She had been in nursing for, like, before my mother was even born, which was a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, but yeah. And so she was a nurse before my mom was even born. And, like, she worked in a nursing home and whatever. No, that's my aunt. But, like, that's where she met her husband now. That's where she met my grandpa. That's, like, just everything with her in nursing was just, like, amazing. So, anyways, so that happens. And so I begin to cry because I have a very low pain tolerance. I'm telling you this out of complete honesty. I have a very low pain tolerance. Even the slightest pinch, like, makes me cry. Like, I cannot handle pain. Like, very low. It just, nope. So I started crying, and Andy, like, stops and he asks me what's wrong, and he says, okay, let's go home, let's go home, let's go home right now. So we go home, and well, not home, but, like, you know, back to Grandma's house. So, well, I guess at that point it was home right then. At that particular moment, that was home. Okay, Emmy, geez, calm down. So then I was all like, I was saying how it hurt to walk. And so I was freaking out, and I was like, well, what if I broke it? What if I sprained it? What if I pulled a muscle? I didn't know that pulling a muscle and spraining something was the exact same thing. So I was just, like, freaked out and so shook, and I didn't know what to do. So my mom is all like, okay, let's go talk to Graham. So her mom. So she talked. So we talked to Graham. We were in her bedroom and we talked to Graham. And oh, if I ever say Graham, it's my mom's mom. So I eventually, like, nope. And so she asked me what I did, and I told her that what I did, and she said, oh, that's a terrible idea, Emmy. And I was like, I know! So she wrapped it, and, like, she was like, does this hurt, does this hurt, does this hurt? And I was saying, yes, 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 and whatnot. And she's like, okay, if it gets, like, worse or whatever, probably go take her to be seen. And then she's like, can you move it? And I was like, yeah. And then she's like, okay, it's not broken. So, because if you break something, you can't move it. you just can't move it. It's just physically impossible. You just can't move stuff that's broken. So, like, we knew that it wasn't broken. So, as you can see, I'm going for clearly a pink look today. So, I was, like, freaking out and whatnot, and so it did get worse. So, my mom made the overall decision that we're gonna go and get me checked out. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go get me checked out. So, she went and got me checked out, and they, like, x-rayed it and whatever, and they came back half an hour-ish later, and they said they had some good news and they had some bad news. And which one did I want first? I was like, I want the good news. And, you know, every kid would want to hear good news before bad news. Well, sometimes. So, they were like, okay, good news is, it's not broken or anything. And then they said, bad news is, it's just a bad sprain. So I sprained it, and so they gave me a boot. Hold on 1 second. I still have the boot. 1 second, let me go grab it. Alright, here it is. This is what it was. I still have this thing. So, it wasn't like a break or anything, and so I didn't need to, like, a whole, like, boot. I just had to have the sandal type or whatever. So, I needed that, and it was my right ankle, which is what I put, like, my most pressure on. And so, I decided that, so they told me that I needed to keep it elevated for at least 2 weeks. Or was it 1 week? It was 1 or 2 weeks. And so, I was like, okay, fine. So, I kept it elevated and whatnot, and they were like, okay. So, kept it elevated, and I went to school the very, like, next day or whatever. And I went to school, and they all looked at me, and they went, what did you do? Like, my friends were like, what did you do? And so, I was like, I sprained my ankle, and they're like, what now? So, I wasn't allowed to do, like, a lot of movements for, I think it was 2 weeks. So, I couldn't, like, run, so I couldn't do PE. I was very sad about that. I always enjoyed PE. And so, I just was by myself and alone and whatnot. And so, I had to keep it elevated. So, do you want to know what I did to keep it elevated? Well, I full on, I literally, like, I had my, so it was like it was a lunchroom, so there was, like, you know, a whole bunch of seats at a table. And so they, like, so I took my feet and I just I took my foot and put it next to me, just, like, up next to me. Took maybe, I don't know, 2 seats, because I was so short and small. And they literally just, like, and some girl comes over to me and she's like, can't save seats. And I was like, I'm not saving a seat. I have an injury. You can clearly tell that I'm injured. And she's like, well, you can't save seats. And I'm like, she was going off on me because I had an injury and I was saving seats. Okay, boo-hoo. Go cry about it to someone else, not me. I have an injury, so. So, then she kept, like, antagonizing me about it. Or not antagonizing me, but, like, she kept bugging me about it. And I was like, lady, girl, I have an injury. You can clearly see it. And then my friends came to my rescue, and they're like, okay, she has an injury. Leave her alone, jeez. So I had some pretty good friends. Well, sometimes they were not really nice friends, but most of the time they were. Like when they replaced a friend of mine with Hermione instead of me. We used to play Harry Potter. So anyways, so I did that, and they saw that I had an injury, and they like just came to my side and helped me through it and whatnot, because like they were nice people, they were nice friends. I'm still in contact with a couple of them, not a lot of them. I saw one of them at Smith's or Save Mart one time, because I moved here. This was the house that we were trying to find. We were trying to find a house, and this was the one that we found. So like this happened just a few years ago. Oh my gosh, I have to listen to that song, but I can't because I'm recording for you guys. So, ooh, girl, look at that. I'm sorry you had to see that. I was so sorry. So anyways, so after a week I was able to take the boot off and be normal again. Like I was just able to be normal again, normal kid. So that's what happened there. I guess I'm done with stories because I just have a few more steps left and then I'm totally done. Well, I guess I could tell you guys like one more fast one. So I'm excited about this. So you guys have seen my video. If you guys haven't seen my video about my dog attack just last year, go ahead and watch that, because like that literally was, one second, let me do this. Alright, cool. So so if you guys haven't seen that video, you guys should totally go and watch that, because that was, I swear, one of the most scariest moments of my life. Like, it was scary. I thought I was in a lot of trouble because of like what the doctors and whatnot had said, and the police officers. Oh yeah, so police officers come to my house, and like, so the police come, the ambulance comes, like everyone comes, everyone that's like 911, they all come just for a little girl. Just for a girl. That's what it is. The police come because this girl got attacked by a German Shepherd. That was truly terrifying. That was a terrifying time of my life. I still have the scar, and it is still numb. Like, you guys don't even know. I mean, like, I'm not saying that, like, oh, you guys don't know. But, like, seriously, you don't even know how bad it was. Like, it was so bad. So bad. If I can like somehow find a way to put a picture in this, I will totally do it. But like, I'm serious, people. It was so bad. Like, it's not that I thought I was gonna die, because I totally did not think that whatsoever, but like, I was freaking out. Like, especially, like, since the owners of the dog didn't even have proof to say that it had all their shots. Yeah, it was very traumatic and very scary in a girl's life. And now we do a couple spritz of 2 different type of e.l.f. setting sprays, so. Two e.l.f. Oh yeah. Alright guys, so this is the final look. I know I look like I just got a shower. It's because of the setting spray. I'm sorry guys, that's what it does. Alright, so anyways, so I'm gonna do this new thing. It's a shout out. I'm gonna do it on after every single video. So today's shout out is, one second, I wrote it down. I'm so sorry if I pronounce this incorrectly. I'm so sorry if I do. I knew that I was gonna forget who it was, so I wrote it down. I'm so sorry if I pronounce this incorrectly. Again, I'm so sorry. Francesca Leshin. I'm so sorry. I'm very bad with names, especially pronouncing. I am so sorry. But, thank you for watching my videos. Like, seriously, that made me so happy reading your comment the other day. I was watching a video by another YouTuber, and, when I read your comment, just, last night or whatever, whenever you said that, and you said that you loved watching my videos, I was like, oh my gosh. Seriously? Like, are you serious right now? I was so excited. You don't even, like, I can't even explain how excited I got reading that comment. So, thank you so much, Francesca. I think that's how your name is pronounced, just based off the spelling. Francesca, I'm so sorry if that is incorrect. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so, thank you for watching my videos. I'm trying to see if I can post them at least every week or like every other day. I'm trying to get it to that, but I just have a very busy schedule now. So we'll see how this works. So yeah, so thank you for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you down the rabbit hole. Bye!